Yes, my friends, that really is me. The chap who twice ran away for a quiet life living on a canal boat, stood on stage, pressing the plunger to switch on the Oswestry Christmas lights. Well, how did we get here? Let's get stuck in. Hello there, folks. I'm Dan Brown from Sort of Interesting, and today you're joining me in the centre of Oswestry on a chilly November afternoon where I can't believe that I'm about to say this and that this is actually a real thing. I am later on today going to be on the stage down there as part of the Christmas lights switch on ceremony. So firstly, I've just got to say a massive thank you to everybody who pushed for me to do it, and well, again, it's just extraordinary. So thank you to everybody involved in the event and all of you on the internet that made this happen. So yeah, let's have a chat. As you can probably imagine, my friends, this is a pretty nerve-wracking time for me, although at this late stage, only a few hours away from being on the stage, I've got to say I'm getting quite excited about the prospect too. So I'm hoping, if all goes to plan, I'm just here for a very small part of the ceremony, just to be asked up on stage to talk about YouTube and what I do, and obviously all the promotion to the local area, with my YouTube channel being almost exclusively based in Oswestry and all the surrounding countryside rural areas. So that's great to be recognised locally again. I don't claim to have done anything special, I'm just the one who got out there and did it. So thank you again to everybody. And then I believe I'll be asked back on stage with a couple of other people to join the mayor for actually switching the Christmas lights on. So again, extraordinary moments, I've got to say. Thank you. So I did start to get nervous in the days leading up to this event, as I started to see all these images from previous events with just how many people turn up here. So yeah, that was certainly interesting. I wish I hadn't seen those pictures beforehand. But really, I do want to just mention again the extraordinary thing that got me here in the first place, that somebody started a petition to get me to do the lights because of all of the millions of views and everything that I fetched to different places in and around Oswestry, and it actually got hundreds of signatures before I said no, leave it now. It's because it was well, at first I was embarrassed and worried that nobody would sign it, then I was embarrassed and worried that there'd be too many and it would make it into a big thing. But yeah, it's a fantastic experience. So then, my friends, we're barely half an hour away from my slot on stage, and well, I'm looking forward to just seeing what on earth's going to happen, because at this moment I feel like I've passed into that, this is almost an out-of-body experience, surreal feeling. It's good to be in nice and warm in the market hall here, and I've got to say, if I flip the camera around very briefly, there's some absolutely classic places here. Used to be a shop where I used to buy and sell Beano books and things like that over on the end there, and the DVD shop there, DVD and games. Over the years, I cannot tell you how much stuff I have bought and sold there. My goodness me, good times. And the shop next door in more recent times, I've bought plenty of little wagons for my model railway. Not that I'm a nerd or anything. Okay then, my friends, so I've just got back from the main event, so we're here in my mum's house, hence the model railway I'm building. Anyway, I want to just take a moment to explain what you're about to see with the main event itself on stage, and also just make my excuses. So obviously, because there are people there filming me and have sent me these clips, if I had not been on the stage, I would have been filming all sorts of bits and pieces from the night. So sadly, it's just my bit of speaking. So my opening remark about a world champion is because a literal triathlete world champion, Rebecca Duxbury, had just been speaking on stage, and I thought, well, it'll be a nice gesture to start by going, wow, what an act to follow that is. And unfortunately for me, in that brief moment of saying that slightly unplanned line, all of the stuff that I planned to say about myself and my YouTube stuff of, well, I filmed the local area, both in Oswestry, the countryside surrounding, and I've lived on a boat for years, so I show all of the local canals too. Instead of saying something coherent like that, well, I totally fumble this first opening question, I'm afraid, in my opinion at least. But luckily I win everybody back with a joke on the last question. So yeah, let's get stuck in.
Dan Brown, not the author, I have to say, but tell us what you do in Oswestry, because you've made a bit of a name for yourself, Dan.
Well, It's a tricky one to really explain because after a world champion, I mean, what an act to follow. So basically, some of you may have seen me on the internet running around in the countryside, filming stuff, boats, and basically I've been fortunate enough to find millions of people tuning into videos from all over our tiny corner of the world, from as far as Australia to America and beyond, and basically just shared our history, our wonderful countryside, and just all of the wonderful places around Oswestry.
So what's so special about, I mean, we know what's special about Oswestry, but what particularly do you like about being and living here?
Well, I would say not only have we got an Iron Age hill fort to start us off with a good amount of 1,000 years into the past of history, but obviously you've got all of the history from then on. People have lived in this area for thousands of years, and as you can imagine, during that time, they've done an awful lot.
And how can people tune in to have a look at what you do, Dan?
If anybody wants to check out Sort of Interesting on YouTube or IC Oswestry on Facebook, you'll find me running around bigging up our corner of the world.
So lots of film and video of Oswestry. Sort of Interesting. That's a slightly ironic title.
Well, I wanted to set expectations at a level that I could achieve, so...
Mr. Mayor, this is the moment. Let's pull the plunger up. Here we go. Put your hands on it. Now I need your help, of course. So let's do, in time-honoured tradition, the countdown. Join me, please. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Look at the lights!
And that, my friends, is the extraordinary event that saw me turning on the Christmas lights in Oswestry 2019. So firstly, thank you very much to Oswestry Town Council and all of the people that work incredibly hard to put on this great event that a huge amount of people in Oswestry thoroughly enjoy, myself being one of them. Of course, thank you to everybody out there on the internet that made it possible for me to be stood up there sinking the plunger to switch the lights on. And, well, thank you to everybody who's tuned into this video. Until the next time, my friends, have an absolutely... Oh, yeah, of course, please do subscribe to Sort of Interesting on YouTube, like the IC Oswestry Facebook page for loads of local videos and photos from Oswestry and the surrounding countryside. And anyway, as always, my friends, have an absolutely fantastic day. Keep it interesting, keep it light-worthy, keep it boat-worthy, and of course, my friends, farewell.